Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the Charlotte Silverwolves. Our previous episode, we went through another off season. We're still not quite done, though. We do need a new rookie manager. So let's get after it. Personnel, and here we go. Um, Madison Bower kind of sucks. I'd much rather have Eddie Burns if I can get away with it. There we go. So what do we change? First of all, we are returning a World Series champion um team. And it's honestly very similar to last year's squad. Very, very similar. Sergio Zapata's back in the lineup, a move I don't fully agree with, but I'm willing to at least give him a chance to see if there's anything left in the tank. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think there's not really any doubt that he's a Hall of Famer, even if he retired right now. But I wouldn't mind seeing him approach a couple more big numbers. I think 3,000 is out of the question unless he either gets a lot healthier, a lot better, or both. But I think 500 home runs is at least reasonably possible. We need to decide if we're going to keep him at all. And he doesn't want very much money, right? And he doesn't want to be a starter anymore. That's huge. I would love for him to retire as a Silver Wolf. I think he's earned it. So I think we go ahead and casually offer him this longer term deal. If it means he has to ride the pine, that's fine with me. But I think he's such a good player. It's such a small amount of money. I think it's fine. So we go ahead and we do that. Anyways, Rody Bomers is going to be starting as our everyday third baseman. Um, I have very little low expectations of him being great, but there's a universe where he's actually very good, and I think that's what we're looking for. That's the goal here. Is he gets on base at a good enough clip that his amazing glove and speed can come into play. That's my hope. I'm not married to him as third baseman, and thankfully we do have Sam Sexton as an option to play third base, and then maybe where he ends up. But for right now, we can ride with Rody Bomers. Everyone else started last year, without exception. Yeah. Pitching staff wise, we now have a second position player actually starting in our rotation. In this case, it's Jeffrey Craig. We have Dan Sutton back in the rotation, and then we have mostly the same bullpen. Jorge Vargas is new. We acquired him in the off season for the low price of Gilberto Ramirez. So yeah, what happened? Oh, it put the button over there. Okay, that's weird. Anyways, so yeah, Vargas is new. And I think that's it. A lot of these guys have already been here before. And while I am confused as to why Billy Pickering isn't starting, I understand it. And we can go from there. Juan Carmona is going to want a lot of money. A gigantic amount of money. So that's a topic we're going to have to address here in the near future. For now, let's go ahead and play the first month of the season. And we've already had a serious injury, and that we're losing a reliever for a few months. Golden Corral here can have his job back. I think that's fine. So we have a very interesting problem, and it's not one that I'm used to engaging in, which is that we're being hurt by two-way players. Let me explain. Because Dan Sutton is starting every 5 days, I don't have faith that he'll be around to be a backup all the time, necessarily. But I think we're probably okay. I don't think they should be starting. I truly don't, but I'm not going to force the issue. And I'm sure if they do slip one way or the other, then we'll have other options here. Eddie Burns, excellent. We do keep Zapata. I'm a little surprised that didn't generate a lot of fan interest. I kind of thought it would. But hey, he's a leader, and at some point he'll just be a backup, and that'll be fine. I don't even know who Jesus. Oh, he's my backup outfielder. That's right. Kellen Bulkley just got suspended. You silly potatoes. Something I wanted to talk about is what happens in the future with the series. Oh, Zapata, never change. Um, is first of all, Tommy Einberger gets to return. I think. There we go. What was I gonna say? I'm sorry. Oh yes. We presently have had 22 seasons in the major leagues. I think there's a decent chance that when we hit 25 years, that we strongly consider a new save, or maybe we just play out the string until the new OOTP comes out. But I do have an idea of what I want to do. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that's going to want to take this particular tactic. I want to see how quickly I can rebuild the White Sox. I think that would be a fun challenge, and something that I can get excited about. So that's my plan for OTP 26 is that. However, I'm certainly open to suggestions. So if you have some other amazing idea that you'd like to see me try out, then by all means, let me know. Yeah. There's a difference between speed and quickness. Ty Cobb is right about that, as he was right about so many baseball related things. Because speed is just straight line speed. That's not terribly helpful in many sports. Because you just generally don't have that kind of opportunity. Football's an exception. You can toss a lob, and a really fast receiver like a Tyreek Hill can just run as fast as he can and catch the ball. But in a sport like baseball, you're rarely going in a straight line. And if you are, it's for a short distance. Being able to change direction, like in the outfield, if the ball goes in a direction you don't expect, I think is more useful than just dead ass speed, in my opinion. Stealing bases is as much about anticipation as about raw speed. There's so many examples of players that are really, really fast that are given opportunities in the majors and they can't do anything with them because it turns out it takes more than just speed to be a top tier baseball player. Um, yeah. Reaction time in all things, I think, is the most important stat in baseball, especially for an offensive player. It's not only being able to pick up the pitch out of the pitcher's hand, it's knowing where the pitch is going to be and what you can do with that pitch, all in fractions of a second. I say this without any hyperbole whatsoever. The single hardest thing to do in professional sports is hit a baseball. And I don't think it's terribly close either. Like, other things are hard, they're challenging, I understand that. But they're not as difficult. So that's my opinion. You can take it or leave it as you like. Um yeah. Mike Bennett, I hope you don't get hurt. Because you're not gonna have a backup for a week. Because they're not putting someone on the IL just for a week. Jorge Vargas, man, my relievers are made of glass this season. He just can't seem to stay healthy. Because Pluvio's here is about to be healthy, I'm just gonna wait the 3 days and then put him back on the roster. I think that's sensible. Well, it's someone that's not a reliever got hurt. Damn. Do we call up Caballero? So Caballero's actually lost some of his top end sheen. And I think it's mostly because he just isn't getting better. What he is fine, but right now he's a guy who plays second base and nothing else. Is it time to trade Caballero? Is there a universe where, at his current skill level, he is somebody that has a role on this team? And being totally honest with you, I don't think that there is. I don't think there's a universe where Alfredo Caballero has a big role to play on this team, barring catastrophic injury. You know, if there's catastrophic injury, like RJ Morley is a perfectly fine second baseman. He's basically Caballero, but fully developed. I think we trade him now. Before his value slips anymore. Okay. I would love to get a prospect package for him, including at least either 2 greens or a blue. That's probably asking too much, but we're going to try it out. And I am not seeing... a green and 3 yellows isn't a terrible deal. It's definitely quantity over quality, for sure. Alright. Julio Garibay. I think we looked at this guy before. He's got big time power, but not much else. That's fine. David Sergio is a competent catcher with some offensive skill. Nothing special, but pretty decent. Jake Morgan, I'm not a big fan of. He is very hardworking, and he is a competent third baseman with some offensive skills, but his top line skill seems to be lacking. And Dylan Greenberg is just whatever. This is an okay package. I'm gonna keep looking. I guess the question is, would I rather have one blue than a package like that one? Oh, hello, Luis Campos. Interesting. Like, Escanero's nothing special. Luckin is fine. I guess the question with Campos is, do we think he'll hit enough to make this power meaningful? But he can play center field. Like, this is a legitimately high quality deal. Short of getting like a major league ready top tier pitcher, I don't know that there's a better deal on the market, but I have to look. I have to look. Prospects only. Who are we looking at here? Game? Okay. So there are genuinely a lot of offers here, which is what I expected. Okay. Rodolfo is a generational talent at offense, and I still don't think he's worth picking as the only pick. He's still very, very green. I'm not a fan. We could get the mega bullpen guy. We could do that. But while I like him a lot, I don't like him as a flagship if I'm not getting somebody else as well. For Trujillo and Stockwell, I would very strongly consider it. But I'm going to keep looking. Gabe Jeske. Interesting. We do need a top tier starting pitching prospect. He's very, very good. If I could get Jeske and Weathered, I would feel pretty great about the trade. I'm going to keep looking, but this is currently the leader in the clubhouse. If I can get both. David Ordonez, really good player. Not what I'm into right now. I am being offered genuinely good players, which is excellent. I'm not getting short sighted here or shortchanged here. I just think we need pitching in the high minors so desperately that I think that's the right call. I think that's what we do. Let's talk to the Rockies. Now, they very well might tell me to go fuck myself if I ask for both, but I don't think they will. I think there's a reasonable chance that we get both of them because Caballero is that good a prospect. Okay, this will not work unless I offer you Phil Sullivan. Nah. I want to get a second prospect. I feel pretty strongly that I need a second prospect to even justify this deal. Jabari Britford would be a pretty good choice. If willing to think about it, for somebody as lame as Ambrice, I would make this deal. Nope. Oh, the most you can trade is $13,000? That's pretty lame. Okay, getting 3 top tier pitchers for 1 good reliever. I know he doesn't like it. I know he doesn't like it. But other than Caballero, who might end up being a fantastic player, we're getting Dave Jeske, who could start for us right now. We're getting Jabari Britford, who's at least a medium tier starter, and we're getting John Weathered. We're basically getting 3 starting pitchers, all of whom are quite close to the major leagues. And giving up Sullivan certainly hurts us in the short run, I guess. What if I offered you a prospect? Somebody else who just doesn't have much of a chance to play for this club. Chris Wilson, man. What about Joe Bach? Joe Bach's pretty good. Tim Davis. That does move the needle for you slightly. Jimmy Osborne is a potential starting pitcher. There's not a chance that this happens. I think I just trade Phil Sullivan, and then we figure out a way to acquire a new reliever. I think that's the right decision. I truly believe that. I truly think this makes us a better team in the short term and in the long term. Let's fucking go. Complete trade. Done. Okay. I got to find 3 people. What do I need? Oh, I need a new shortstop. That's why I was looking at Caballero at all. Morley only plays second. Alejandro Ayala is really good defensively. I think having him as a backup is pretty good. No, it isn't. I think it's Akoff. I want to give him a chance to get some reps. I need 2 pitchers. Chris Wilson is definitely one of them. One of the pitchers of all time. And then I think Gregory Weber also easily makes it. Yeah. And let's go from here. Pluvios, that's right. I was even gonna add let me send down Wilson and we'll call Pluvios back up. There we go. Didn't I just sign Dan Roca to a new contract? No, I didn't. Okay. I maybe should, but for right now, we're just gonna roll with it. Losing Sullivan is unfortunate. I think of all the things that we lost in that deal, that's the one that I regret the most. Because Caballero could be an amazing second baseman, but he's really a first baseman. And not an especially great one either. So we'll see. We'll see. R.I.P. Bob Uecker. R.I.P. Some nice improvements here. Okay. Jarvis is pitcher of the month. So one of the interesting questions we should consider is, do we call up Jeske now? I don't think so. I think the guy's never pitched above A, and I think letting him get some experience in the high minors is gonna really serve us well in the future. So we're just casually running a starting rotation of 3 pitchers right now. It's fine. I mean, they're both killing it at the plate and in the base paths. So if that's what makes them happy, I will accept my fate. Okay, we got to make a decision about Zapata. And I think he does get to come back, which means Einberger goes to the minors. And I just think that's the call right now. I think coming off the bench he can still be quite useful, even if he doesn't start regularly ever again. Getting Pickren back is nice. I do like that. Let's send Weber to the minors and bring back Pickren. And then Vargas will be coming back here soon, so. Thanks, Colin. Great job. Nice. Nice. All right, we are watching things happening. I haven't looked at the team at all. I mean, we've won 38 games already, and while this year is very, very tight, um, wow, Pickren really sucks. I'm gonna demote Wiggins and bring Vargas back. I think Jarvis has the best ERA. I fucked it up already. Sorry, Jarvis. I do want to look at the team. I just want to see how things are going and see if there's any changes we should make. This is a much more difficult year for us. Jorge Vargas is throwing harder now. Nice. Barry Brookford. Some guys are adding velocity, which is really awesome. Yeah. Darren Heil is player of the week. How's the lineup looking this year? It's looking pretty decent. Jeff Shumo is a problem. And here's the issue that's always going to be present with him. He's going to hit home runs, he's going to steal bases, he's going to play good defense. Expecting more than that, I think, is not realistic, but I do think I should expect higher than a 192 batting average. I think he's capable of that. So I think we stay the course with him. Zapata, I mean, he doesn't look very good. He looks like he's washed. I wish you weren't starting him. I truly don't know why we're starting him. I mean, I guess the fact is I don't have a real backup outfielder right now. Like, it's either Herrera or Zapata, and Herrera's done nothing to cover himself in glory either. I need another outfielder. The problem is Jeffrey Craig. Jeffrey Craig deciding that he needs to be both a starting pitcher and an outfielder is not working out for me. It's not terrible, I guess, but it's not great. I mean, it's hard to argue with a team that's second in runs against and best and in the field. We are having some defense issues. Let's quickly explore that and see who our issue is. Bomers isn't playing super smooth third base, which is troubling to me because that's meant to be his calling card. But he's not poor and performing that poorly. He's okay. Zapata cannot play the field. Wow. And I just re-signed this guy to a 3-year deal. Maybe I was kind of stupid. Maybe it was. I'm hoping that he'll see when the writing's on the wall and just retire. But I think for right now, we don't change anything. We are a little bit low in power. That, I think, is the most shocking thing so far this season. Maybe not shocking. We have some good, talented power hitters, and they're just not hitting for power right now. But there's time for that to change. There's definitely time for that to change. Power seems to be down, up and down the team. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Let's go ahead and advance to the next month. The thing is, I don't know what I would upgrade, even if I had the opportunity. Because I think the best chance of us getting into that extra gear is just players we've already got heating up. Chris Akoff, you go back to the minors. Mr. C2 comes back. Yeah. Oh, he gets player of the week. That's what I'm talking about. See, it doesn't take much for Jeff to go from average player to awesome player. Toronto is really good this year. The AL as a whole is really good this year. So yeah. Fuck off. Juan Gavarek got 5 hits. How's he been doing? He's actually doing okay. He was never a bad player. He just isn't worth what he's being paid, is the issue. We've got a lot of coaches to make decisions about, so let's do that now. Caballero's now the number 10 prospect. All right, let us now make some coaching decisions here. Okay, Amaya, you suck. You're gone. We start with that. You're just gone. Team trainer, we keep. I think he's done a pretty good job of keeping people mostly healthy. Luis Cadet has built some of the best pitching I've ever seen. He definitely gets an extension. 10,000,000% he gets an extension. The absolute unit takes a fucking pay cut. That's how awesome he is. Let's offer everyone else an extension. Okay, a bunch of people aren't so sure. Santo de Jesus is a great early candidate to take over potentially for first base coach. We keep him. Kevin Denny Fortier is pretty outstanding. We keep him. I feel bad for all these high-ranking coaches that are just basically trapped. Michael Perez isn't very good. I think he's fine, but I don't think he's good. He is very, very young. I think keeping him around to see if he improves is fine, but he's not very good. Chun Yung Cho is more than worthy of sticking around in A ball. That I agree with. Mr. Longa. Senor Figueroa, 10,000% gets a new contract. And then Wangel Baez easily gets a new contract. So I feel pretty good about our coaching staff. We don't have a ton of... I don't see a ton of future managers here. People that I say, yes, this is the next manager of the Silver Wolves. Herm the Worm here is pretty solid. He's reasonable, I guess. But yeah. Let's keep it going. I could do with a better outfielder. I guess that's the one position where I could definitely see a little bit more strength. I didn't think Zapata would age the way that he has so abruptly, and I think that's hurting the team. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know who we go after. But I do think it's something we could potentially do, is we could upgrade in the outfield. And it's not even him that's the problem, it's that I don't have... Galindo's not hitting his very best. My backup is nothing special. We could definitely use some more top flight outfield prospects. Is there an outfielder available that changes the equation significantly? Jesus Herrera sucks. I think there's very little left to recommend for Jesus Herrera. He does have good power, but that's it. And I need more out of my players than just he hits the ball a long way. I'd rather have Jaleel Menz actually than him. What if we just did that? What if we just can I trade him? I want to see if somebody else is going to look at his power potential and get googly-eyed about it. Probably not, but somebody might. Yeah, nobody wants him. That's fair. I'm just going to go ahead and designate him for assignment, and then we're going to go ahead and let Jaleel Menz have a roster spot. He is a pretty solid hitter from top to bottom, so I think he is a worthy addition to the roster, potentially. Let's see if that moves the needle at all. Probably not, but it might. It might. Hall of All-Stars, probably Couples and Heil make it. Just like based on stats, right? Couples and Heil seem like pretty safe bets. Gillens, maybe. Shumo, probably not. But maybe. Jarvis, I think, makes it. Carrillo probably makes it. So I'm thinking we have possibly 5 All-Stars. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see. Jarvis made it. Carrillo didn't, so that's 1. Vandergreen made it. Didn't expect that, so that's 2. Heil made it. Couples made it. That's 3 and 4. And then that's it. 4 All-Stars is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm even happier with the fact that Nelson Escalante is a mere 4.2 WAR this year. What a loser. Prospect rosters. Literally nobody. Nope, that's not true. David Lozada made it. Okay. And so did Chris Wilson. Okay, fine. Anytime you want to stop being injured, Vargas would be amazing. With him being out for 2 weeks, I think we go ahead and call up Chris Wilson. I think. I think that's good. It is the All-Star break, so it's not going to be playing all that much anyway. DFA player, as predicted, nobody wanted Herrera. I didn't think they would. Demoted. And we'll just send right on down to the draft. What do I want this year? I just want best player available. I say that every year, but it's always true. I don't really see there being a specific type of player that I'm that desperate for. Nice. Darren Heil won the home run championship. We love that here. Ted Salvato, Charlotte Silverwolves legend, happens to be in the Indies now. And he actually just won a home run title with them. Good for him. Ignacio Tovar. Nice. All right. But yes, we just need as much high level talent as we can possibly get, regardless of position. I think we've got some really nice high level pitching talent now, so I don't feel obligated to rush for that one. And we want all players, please and thank you. And my scout, thank you very much, and auto draft. Kamar Vaughns is a pretty great first round pick. He's a shitty outfielder. I guess if there's anything that would cause me concern, it's that. But he's got big time power, good BABIP, decent batting eye, a lot of speed, works hard. I mean, I don't see any reason in looking anywhere else right now. Let's make it happen. I shall meet your demand, dear sir. No, I will. What does he actually want? What is it that his monitor? Okay, he did want. He just did want the slot. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, tons of great players still available. We love that. Let's start with Maurizio Warren. He is not a center fielder, but he is adaptable. He can sort of pitch. Good power, good plate discipline, a good overall package. I could get behind Mr. Warren there. Joe Hillis, just an all around really solid third baseman. Perfectly fine. Danny Wedlow's good. I'm not saying a bad player here yet. Currently, Warren is in the lead, but I do want to at least look at these pitchers here. Okay, you're a huge dude. You're going to throw harder as you get older. I have no question about that. Stuff isn't great. Great home run awareness. Or not home run awareness. Home runs against, I think. He's a screwball pitcher with a changeup, splitter, and cutter. But he's low adaptability, low work ethic. I love pitchers that throw screwballs, but I don't think he's a good fit. I don't believe that to be the case, no. Doug Evans is perfectly fine. Parnot, a little bit less so. Damani Wardlow is pretty damn great. I think he's the guy we draft. I think his pitching talent is off the charts. His only issue is that he doesn't throw as hard as you would expect, but he's so big that I think that'll get better. Yeah, I think Wardlow is the choice here. Without a shred of doubt. Warren is still around. I happily take him. I happily take him. All right. I don't love Wedlow. I just don't. Mostly because he's an okay hitter with okay. I guess he's okay. I guess we can draft him. I suppose. Phil Stafford. Nope. He is much too stupid to be worth taking, in my opinion. Esteban Padilla. Now we're cooking. This is the kind of guy we can get behind. Good defender at second or shortstop. That right there is a pretty great start. He's also a good enough hitter that I think he'll be able to carry his glove. And he's also a reasonably okay pitcher, too. I think we happily take Mr. Padilla. And I think we don't worry about it. I'm going to meet his demand. Jared Marbley, I will happily accept onto this club. I won't even question it. He's super polished, good all around skill set, capable of handling center field in a pinch, good player. Oh, he just signed for free. Okay. Well, sure. I wouldn't mind getting a better catching core, and I think Gabe Jeffries is a good start to that potentially. But I don't love him. I don't love this, and I don't love that he's not very good defensively. We can do better. I like Mike Sachowski far more. I think he's got a much higher chance to be a top tier catching prospect. Not flawless, certainly, but definitely a reasonable choice. Let's start looking for freaks. Let's look for those players who have some sort of elite athletic tool that makes them worthwhile. Hello, Kurt Heil. Yes. Done. I don't like to have to worry about salary offers, so we go ahead and we push that out. Um. Hmm. I think Randy Piot is probably the best overall hitter. He's not a very good center fielder, but he is smart and he's got a well-rounded skill set. I think we draft him. Another guy that expects to be paid. Disgusting. You should be like, the Charlotte Silverwolves are such a great organization. I will pay them. How about that? How about that? Okay. Um, Mike Seaton is fine, but not great. I don't think he's worth what he's the amount of money he's going to ask for. Let me go ahead and draft Ron Castaneda. He is kind of stupid though. Maybe that doesn't matter for relievers, so maybe it does. I think Jamie Sorter is a good pick. I think Jamie Sorter is a reasonably good pitcher with a reasonably high upside. I think we go for that. Tim Cook is the highest ranking starting pitcher by stuff. I think he is worth taking. At this late in the draft, like there's not going to be that many people that are clearly head and shoulders better than everyone else. You just kind of take who you can get. Nelson Mina keeps falling. I agree he's not a flawless prospect. His control is troubling. If we can work on his control, though, I think he's a pretty fantastic pitcher, and I'm willing to draft him and figure out if we can fix him. Next round, batting potential. Let's go back to some high quality future hitters. Shamar Hullaby, awesome. He's kind of a terrible infielder, but he's an okay all around hitter. We take those, especially this late in the draft. I want raw, unmitigated power. Eric Hill, welcome aboard. Any great defenders left that happen to hit? Okay, Jeff Scott, I take you. 100%. He's a really good defender, and that can help the pitching staff. Mitch Jones, no. You have no arm whatsoever. You're a terrible choice. Bob Reck, your first baseman. Who the fuck cares about your ability to play defense? I certainly don't. Chris Henley. Josh Merritt. Back to pitching. Ross Duff. Oh no, please look at pitchers now, game. I feel like the best pitcher left is Castaneda, so we'll draft him. We can take Morikazu Morinaga. And a Mr. Irrelevant, Jared Howard. Draft is finished. Let's go ahead and negotiate. He wants $10 million. Are you fucking delusional, man? He's a good relief pitcher. He has potential to be a great relief pitcher, but he's not worth $10 million. No reliever is. I'm gonna shortlist you. I'm gonna see if you do end up coming back, and if so, when. But yeah, I don't go with that. That's ridiculous. Jeffrey Craig is out for 7 months. That is not good, if I were to hazard a guess. Um, Einberger's still out for 5 days. Devon Delliston is fine. Do I have any high-ranking outfielders that might need a bit of an opportunity? I feel like Ignacio Tovar could be the answer to our outfield problems. I genuinely feel like he might be that guy. Is he that guy right this second? I'm not too sure. But you know what? Let's figure it out. He's 21 years old. He's got plenty of plate appearances in the minors. He's played quite well. Am I being aggressive a little bit? But I think he can handle it. Let's do it. Mr. Tovar, welcome to the major leagues. I hope you enjoy your stay. How long are you out? Up to a week. Darren Heil is having a fantastic season. We're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna bench him for a week so he can recover. Oh, would have to do it like this. You know what? No, I think we're okay. I think we can just let him play, and if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. Jorge Vargas can return. Huge. Chris Wilson back to the minor leagues, please and thank you. This is definitely a vulnerable team this year. Well, I still think we're excellent and probably one of the best teams in the American League. This isn't like last year. We just utterly dominated from start to finish. I think there's definitely some weaknesses here. How's Ignacio Tovar been playing? He's barely played at all. Yeah, that's fine. He'll be back in a week anyway, so I'm not going to bother putting him on the IL. Kellen Bulkley has hit his 300th home run. Nice. Rodolfo Guerrero hit 300 home runs. Both of them came from me. So, you're welcome. A trade proposal. Jax Rivera for Mike Boardman and Alejandro Ayala. Rivera's not that good. He just isn't that good. Mike Boardman is a highly useful reliever, and Jax Rivera is not that good. So I think we decline this trade. I see the Reds also have an offer for me. Is it a good offer or is it a stupid offer? It's a stupid offer. I have no interest in him. Thank you. David Figueroa. I don't think so. Mm-mm. Nope. I'm not even looking at Arturo Oliva. I don't think he's the kind of outfielder I'm looking for. All right, let's go trade deadline day. Brad Wyman would be a lovely addition to this bullpen, but I think he is way too expensive. I don't think he's worth it. Jorge Valles, not terrible, but I'm not gonna do that either. Daniel Cavallero. Oh, that's that display glitch where it looks like he's an elite prospect and he just isn't. No, I don't think so. I don't think Mr. Beebe is worth acquiring. I don't know that anybody is. Like, I don't know what I even would want to consider giving up, let alone what I'd want to acquire in return. I just don't think there's anybody on offer that's that impressive. David Figueroa is not worth it. A Chase Captain is not worth it. Yeah, I don't think so. Is anybody's contract up? Like, I'm going to lose him if we don't re-sign him. It doesn't look like it. Jesus Herrera's is. I don't think anybody wants him, though. We can try, but I don't think anybody is interested in him even in the slightest. Yeah. I just think there's nothing in this trade deadline for us. Because I think the team is about as good as it's going to get right now. And I don't see. Yeah, Jeff Bradshaw's not that good. We don't like those here. I think we just end the trade deadline. I just think there's nothing worth bothering about. Juan Bernal, huh? Is he still kicking? Oh, it's Billy Myers was my guy. Oh, because I drafted him and then I lost him in the expansion draft. It looks like I'm not missing much. Yeah, just an uninspired trade deadline. Like I really don't feel like there's anything that would have completely transformed our fortunes at all. Um, it's gonna come down to, can we stay healthy and can we hit timely when the postseason starts? And I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know how to predict either of those two things. What is Bomer's up to? Is he still playing well? He's still playing okay. Yeah, fuck you, Amaya. Nobody likes you. I have a bunch of money for extensions. I think this could be a time to offer Carmona an extension. I'm just not convinced that that's the right decision yet. Um, Cost efficient players. Even Jeff Schumo is cost efficient despite the fact his salary has increased. None of these bonuses are happening, I don't think. No, that's not true. Ernie Jarvis already earned a bonus because he got another All Star appearance this year. Is this the year my guy gets a Cy Young award? It would be awesome if he did, but if he doesn't, that's okay too. Okay, Mitch Couples is gonna miss 2 weeks. That's fine. Let's call up Akoff and just let the AI cook and decide who fits in which spot. How do you keep getting injured running the bases? Like, are you just stupid or what? Maybe they are just stupid. If we could kick it into gear a little bit, I would feel very, very good if we could potentially, like, win the division this year. Like, I know there's obviously always a chance that we just turned it on. Who's Stefan Semyon, and why do I care? Oh, I think you're a guy that I got taken from me in the Rule 5. Yeah, I can just send you back to the minors. Don't really care. I think RJ Morley is by far the best player that doesn't have a job on this team, and I just don't know what to do with him. Yeah, because he can't play shortstop. He can't play third base. I don't need a first baseman because Andy Gillens is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I find it peculiar that Jeff Schumo all of a sudden is now leading off. I don't approve of that, but whatever. Brody Palmer's hitting 11 home runs. I did not see coming this year. That's good baseball. Okay, Mitch Couples gets to come back, but Mike Boardman is going right out. Mr. Chris Akoff can go. Like, there's no universe where Heil is ever sat. Like, as long as he is healthy, he is playing for this club because he's that bloody good. So I think the answer might be seeing if RJ Morley can, say, pick up the outfield in the offseason. I think that might be a way to get him into the lineup because he's a talented player. He's just literally on the worst team. Or Darren Heil could injure himself, kindly, I guess, and let RJ Morley cook. Did you literally just injure fucking Morley? Game. Why? Why do you do these things? Why do you do these things to torment me? For what purpose? Bonotro is fine. We can let him play potentially, or one of the other guys can take over. Like just when Morley had the chance to have a critical role on this team, you get injured. That's lame. Losing Heil is no joke. Losing Heil could very well. It's not going to cost us the postseason, but it could cost us the division. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we all pull through. There's some niceness to this hospital bed. Like, you can do it. Casey Choate. I don't think so. Man. I mean, I will call Casey Choate up. I will let him get some arm work in, I guess, to end the season, but he's not that important to me. What a tight year for the American League. Like, we have really been fighting from top to bottom. Um, yeah. I think once again, Ernie Jarvis is not going to win a Cy Young, no matter how he performs. It just seems like he's eternally cursed. Such is life. Let me go and activate Choate. And I really want to. I think we have quite a bit of openings on the 40-man roster. I want to go ahead and call up Yeski. And I also want to call up Britford. And I just want us to let some other guys get some rotation experience here toward the end of the year. I think that's a fine idea. We clinched the postseason. It's just a question of can we eke out a victory over the Blue Jays? What is this shit? What is with all of my second basemen being made of paper mache? Oh, I cannot call him up. And I think Akoff just got hurt. Bach is hurt. Do I have any infielders that are on the 40-man that I could theoretically... I could call up Mossbacher. I guess we do that. How he performed quite poorly in his limited playing time, but it was nice of him to try. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about your face. Okay, let's talk. Where are we right now? If we win our next game, we win the division and we clinch the second bye. If we lose, I think it goes to a tiebreaker. And head to head this year, we did not perform well against Toronto. So I don't know who gets it. If we just win the game, it doesn't matter, but certainly cannot predict it. A 30-30 player for the first time ever? That's wild. Oh, we did not win the division somehow. How did we not win the division? Or did we win the division and it didn't matter? What? Oh, the fucking Mariners got the... I did win the division, it just didn't matter, I guess? Maybe? Let me set my postseason roster, please. Um, I could definitely use an. How the fuck are you leaving Jeff Schumo off the roster? What the fuck is wrong with you, game? Honestly, I feel like every year they just take someone off the roster just to screw with me, and I don't get it. And I don't like it. Um, Leaving Billy Pickernall for Casey Choate is a choice I could make. I don't know if it's the right choice, but it is a choice. We'll see. We will see. Let's do playoff coverage. Tree. Yeah, looks like the solution was that the Mariners got the other bye. Oh no, there is only one bye now. That's right, there is only one bye. So that explains that. Okay. All right, let's be about it. Nice work. Tight victory, very tight. We did it, fam. We did it. On to the division series. Never any doubt. Actually, I had all of the doubts. I was loaded with doubts. Yes. Leads the league in home runs. Let's leave him off the postseason roster. He sucks. Game. Not Alan Pieper. I love that guy. I have no idea who he is. And it looks like we are playing the Mariners. Okay. Ernie Jarvis, absolute masterclass in pitching excellence. Another super tight victory. However, notice that Mr. Zapata here is showing up. Always a pleasure. He's actually had an okay season. Certainly not a perfect one, but he's had an okay season. Um, Enough that I don't feel bad about giving him a contract extension. Especially a very modest contract extension, you know? Come on, game. You can do it. Come on. Okay. Yeah, that's what I say. Don't start Dan Sutton if Juan Carmona is ready to go. There we go. Another sweep. Another very tight game. All three games decided by a single run. Certainly not a guarantee that we were going to make it into the next round. It looks like we're facing the Twins in the ALCS. Okay. The Double A manager is retiring, so this is a quick opportunity to promote somebody. Michael Priss is okay. Herman is excellent though, and I think I'd much rather promote him. Promote you. I will promote you to be our Class A manager, and then we'll hire a new Rookie League manager. You know what? Anthony Rodriguez, you're in. Okay. Until the next playoff round. Lancelot Hansmeyer was the MVP. Nice. That's a pretty amazing name. I think you should have been MVP just for that. Ooh, another tight victory. This one didn't go our way, though. I mean, I will activate him, but it's not like he's going to play. I knew Jarvis would get it done. He has been such a big game pitcher. I know that Sergio Zapata is the Hall of Fame darling, but let's not lose sight of the fact he's also a damn fine pitcher in his own right. I think he's got a very realistic chance to make the Hall of Fame, especially because he keeps performing in big moments. Come on, man. Come on. 1 second. All right. Here we go. And a wild one, but we did win. Our old friend Gavaret betraying us potentially. Dan Sutton got blown up. I'm not surprised about that. I mean, having Darren Heil back for the World Series potentially is pretty exciting news. If we get there. Creo did his job. Can Ernie Jarvis lock it down? No, but not his fault. It looks like he got chased out of the game uh, somewhat early, and then Boardman melted down. You silly Boardman. Carmona, you're wanting a great big contract. This is the kind of game you earn it in. Nope. Bummer. Not that upset. It would have been cool to have Darren Heil come back in the postseason and lead us to another World Series championship. That would have been pretty sweet. But I'm not that annoyed by it. I'm not that annoyed by it at all. Philly has swept the Twins, not even trying. You should have let me win, Twins. I would have beaten him. I promise. Very competitive postseason. A lot of those were games that could have gone either way. Very few blowouts. What happened happened, and we can be reasonably happy about that. Amar Eob is retiring. What a guy. We will talk about. We have a lot of decisions to make. We will talk about those next episode. I want to break down the season, and then we'll decide the rest of the stuff nice and early next year, and nice and early next episode. So, who are the big contributors this year? Mitch Couples had another fantastic season. He combines excellent offense with high quality defense and a pretty damn good base running skill. Darren Heil only finished with less than 6 WAR because he missed the last month of the season. Another breakout caliber year for him when we already knew he was awesome. Andy Gillens is a workman-like performer. Lots of hits, lots of home runs, lots of walks. A perfect table setter for this team. Jeff Shumo did not have as good a year as he did last year. That doesn't mean he didn't have an excellent year. It looks like mostly where he's backslid a bit is he wasn't nearly as good defensively. He's still a great center fielder. I don't know if he just maybe was off a little bit, but he was a 30-30 player, and we certainly can't argue with those. Is Rody Bomers a success at third base? It's hard to say. I think he had a good year, and I think he was a competent defender when we in an important position. But I don't think 17 home runs a year is realistic. I don't see him having this kind of power consistently, and that may mean third base is an area we can upgrade in. Maybe RJ Morley figures out playing third base. Zapata had a pretty nice year in part-time work. Dan Sutton was pretty decent. Mike Bennett had a bad year. He was worth exactly 1 win above replacement. His bat is slipping badly. He's not drawing walks. He's not hitting for contact. His power is down. This is troubling to me. If he can't draw walks, he is a far less useful player to me. Still a good player, just maybe not a great one. Galindo, for a guy who played almost the entire year, was merely acceptable. I think outfield is a place we have to get better at. I think we do, and hopefully that's not going to be too challenging. Bench didn't play a huge role this year other than Dan Sutton, who's also getting a boost because he also pitched. Pitching-wise, Carrillo and Jarvis were amazing. Carmona really wasn't. While Carmona was good, he's not hitting that ultra level of performance that really makes him into a true ace. Certainly not compared to his more heralded contemporaries in Jarvis and Carrillo. Dan Sutton was legitimately a 3-win player. 2 wins pitching and 1 win hitting. Daniel Roca got hit this year, but was still an excellent all-around pitcher. And I think it's probably not realistic to expect to have the minuscule walk rate that he did last year. Still a great pitcher. Still an important part to our success. Vandergreen was good. Chris Lane was good. Boardman was decent. And then some other people here. Vargas kept getting hurt, so he never was able to establish a true rhythm. That's something we're going to want to look into as time progresses. But proud of these guys. Wasn't the best season we've ever had, but still a very good one. We have some real areas to work on, and I'm really interested to see where we go from here. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. Your viewership is always appreciated. Do like and subscribe. And until next time, this has been Guardian, and I bid you good day.